a lot of chat about their need for a striker, but it could be a midfielder's arrival that's imminent.
Yes, good news for Arsenal supporters because they're closing in on signing Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Now, he won't actually join until the summer, but he is a player who's got a €60 million release clause. That's about £51 million. Lots of other clubs have been interested in signing him. For instance, he was close to joining Liverpool last summer before that deal collapsed at the last minute. But Arsenal have been in talks to sign him. I think Mikel Arteta has played a big part in convincing the player that Arsenal is the right move for him. And I think it makes sense for Arsenal as well, because there are question marks over the long-term future of midfielders like Jorginho, Thomas Partey, who are out of contract in the summer. So it looks like Arsenal just doing a little bit of forward planning. I think it would have helped them if he was able to move this month, but it looks like Real Sociedad is saying, no, we want him to stay until the summer. But it looks like in the summer they will be getting Martin Zubimendi. Of course, they've done a lot of business with Real Sociedad in the past as well. Mikel Merino, they signed. They've also had players like Martin Odegaard, who used to play for Real Sociedad as well. So good news for Arsenal fans. Perhaps not the news they wanted, because they want a forward, but they will be getting a very, very good midfielder if this deal is completed. And this was a development that was first reported by Sami Mokbel in the Daily Mail earlier today.
Arsenal's summer transfer window was supposed to be a statement of intent. The £65 million signing of their new marquee player had been lined up for weeks. Personal terms agreed, medical booked, photo shoot prepared. The announcement was just hours away. But what happened next was so unexpected that it sent shockwaves through the club's hierarchy and almost blew the deal apart entirely. The player arrived at Arsenal's state-of-the-art medical facility early in the morning, greeted by smiling staff and flashing cameras outside. Inside, club doctors began what they thought would be a routine examination. But midway through, a series of test results raised alarming concerns. Something in the player's scans and fitness data didn't look right, something serious enough to halt the process immediately. Phones started ringing. Senior medical staff pulled aside Edu and Mikel Arteta, their faces grim. The message was clear: this deal cannot continue until we get answers. The atmosphere shifted instantly. What had been a day of celebration turned into a race against time. Arsenal's technical team held emergency consultations, calling in specialist doctors from outside the club for a second opinion. Every minute mattered. The transfer deadline loomed, and without clearance, the deal was dead. The player, reportedly calm but concerned, waited in a private room while his agent worked the phones. Hours passed with no progress. The fear wasn't just losing the player, it was the embarrassment of explaining to the world why their headline signing had fallen apart at the 11th hour. By late evening, it looked hopeless. Reports were already drafted internally in case the club had to announce the collapse. But then, in a dramatic twist, new assessments from external specialists arrived and they cleared the player for the move, deeming the flagged issue manageable and non-threatening to his career. In a frantic scramble, Arsenal pushed the paperwork through, with final signatures arriving just minutes before the deadline. The player passed his medical on a technicality, the contract was sealed, and the cameras were set back up for the long-awaited announcement. For fans, the signing looked smooth, professional, and perfectly timed. But behind closed doors, Arsenal had come within a whisker of losing their biggest acquisition of the summer. The incident has only now surfaced, revealing just how fragile big money transfers can be and how even the smallest complication can send a £65 million deal into free fall. In the end, the Gunners got their man. But this close call will be remembered inside the club as the day Arsenal almost watched their Blockbuster signing slip away over a single medical report.